Can you hear that, folks? I mean, it's late at night, and there's a guy who lives down the road from me who drives this souped up, pumped up car with an exhaust pipe that just, I don't know if you heard the noise, but these loud exhaust pipes, and he goes up and down the streets at all hours of the day and night, and he drives probably at about way over the speed limit just within this cul-de-sac, if you will, and makes such a noise. And sometimes I just think, I wonder where people, like how oblivious have you got to be to the people around you, and like why even go as far as to do that to your car, to have to want to make a noise and be disruptive to people and people that are sleeping. It's like, why would you go out of your way to spend money to do that? To have a noisy car, I mean, even for yourself, wherever you're driving, okay, it's just this blundering sound. I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe once upon a time I was in that mindset, and I try to imagine what that was like, but I can't reach that far back, and I just can't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure in my own way, I was doing my own things, but like right now where I'm holding, I don't know. That also goes for people who interrupt conversations, people who speak louder than they have to. Grandiose. Anyways, folks, that's not what I wanted to talk about. So I was just lying in the bath now, again with some Epsom salt, some essential oils and a candle, some music, earplugs as well, for about an hour, I'd say. Just meditating, just reflecting. It gets pretty psychedelic, I must say. You know how many people in my life I have mentioned to them about taking a bath with Epsom salt, with just a candle, natural light, some essential oils and some music, and they laugh at me. They literally laugh at me, and I tell them, like, even if they're asking me what can I do to relax, what can I do to sort of be a bit more mindful, take the edge off, and then some of them will say, oh, definitely, it sounds so good. And not one person that I've mentioned it to over the years has ever tried it or come back to me or told me about the experience. Not one. Again, I just feel, what's the point in it? It's so weird, it's so strange. I don't know how people take their own time. I don't know what they do. I don't think they do take their own time. I think when they're sitting on the crapper, maybe, excuse my language. But then again, they're on their cell phones. If they're not, I don't know if they take their time. Unless they're like abruptly awakened at 3 a.m. in the morning or something and startled, and they're with their own thoughts and they're sort of, alone, if you will. So maybe then. But I don't know. I know some people in my life that I can't imagine they have 5 minutes, not even driving in the car. Like one moment of stillness. Not one. Of reflection, of anything. Not one. I don't know how they do it, folks. I don't know how people go around. I think that I want to. I suppose I just don't really want to. Anyway, again, that's not really what I wanted to speak about. I was lying in the bath and thinking for myself. I realized something that came to my mind, I became aware of, is that when often I look back in the past, majority of the time I only remember my mistakes. It's a big one, folks. I didn't realize it. This is all subconscious. This is going on all the time, but you don't realize it. What am I saying is that, like, in 2011, I left the city for the country. And I really felt that it was going to be a shift in 21st. So 2012, 21st, I think it was the 21st? Yeah, 21st of December 2012. I really thought there was going to be some kind of cataclysm, a worldwide event on a physical level or on a conscious level or spiritual level. And it was just for myself to find a peaceful environment and close to nature, get out of the city, especially if there is going to be sort of something that goes on a physical plane where things get really desperate and sort of the end of the world, if you will, that I stand a better chance on being on a farm, which I realize is that you probably don't stand much of a chance if you're on a farm, unless you're in such a remote place and nobody knows about you, then you're probably a bit better off. But anyways, I don't know what I was doing, but I pushed my father to loan me money to buy shares on this farm. And it took me about a year to find this farm. And I moved onto the farm, I just didn't let him go. I forced him. I really forced his hand. And he bought shares. And the reason, back then, again, I'm just recording all my mistakes and all my blinds and my short-sightedness. Because I thought to myself, I have to buy shares on the farm, because if I live on the farm and the shit hits the fan in the city and I'm just renting, that the owners of the farm, to try and escape the city, were going to kick me off. It's a strange noise outside. And they were going to kick me off, or something or other. I needed something that was going to be something that I could call my own, and that I could find a safe haven with. Whatever. Also, I think there was a part of me that really wanted to go the distance and really commit to this farm, and sort of just really, it wasn't just about moving to the country, but it was about saying goodbye to a part of my life, and moving on, growing up, if you will, leaving the nest in a way. Anyways, it's a very long story. I stayed on the farm for about a year and a half, and during that period of time, I think I did unbelievable work. I really did. And again, it's not to blow my own horn, but it was just I think I was very charitable. I think I helped a lot of the village children. I ran a school funded all by me. Okay. I had a little bit of extra money after what my father invested in the farm for, and bought the shares. And I think, I really did amazing things, there's no question about it. And even when I still go back to the country and I see the village people, they remember me. I don't remember the kids, because now a lot of them have grown up, and but I'm a hero in their eyes, and it's almost like I'm one of them. I'm one of the village people. And folks, this is not a village where it's old tribal style things. It's not. It's a village that's ridden with all types of tuberculosis, HIV, extreme poverty, extreme alcohol abuse, malnutrition, you name it. Okay. Really third world, no running water, no electricity, which is not a bad thing at all, really. No, to not have electricity. And what am I saying? And I bought them solar for their, so they could see at night. Solar. I was just very generous. I don't know if I think it was more from the heart, because I really felt for them, and I really wanted to help. And it wasn't really buying people's love. I don't think it was that for me. I really don't feel that was. I think it was genuine. I have, because I see a lot of people today, the way that they motivate is they do things because they are looking to buy people's affection and love, and for others to see them as somebody of good-heartedness or charitable or something or other. But they do it, I think, with the wrong intentions most of the time. And I think my intentions were pretty good. I don't think I had boundaries, though, so I think people just took advantage of me, I can say that. But it was amazing, folks. I started this school for the kids. For myself, I remember, on a Sunday, I used to be bored out of my mind in the city, especially growing up. And when I was on the farm, and I would see these village kids with nothing to do, just bored out of their minds, in a way, I felt, well, let's have a party. And so I had a school going on a Sunday, and we had so much fun. It was music, it was dance. Originally it was sort of teaching of English and maths, and although they do have a school there in a sense. And then after the first day, I just realized how boring this was and how nonsense it was, how a waste of time it was. And so we switched. We bought speakers, amplifiers, disco lights at night, because we also had some night parties. We just had a whole lot of fun. We made water slides. There was also arts and crafts and things like. We had a ball of a time, and it was all of my money, folks, all of my own cash. Didn't get funding, nothing. People from next door farms might have seen. No one sponsored. No one came to help. Nobody. It was all on my own. Even the people on the farm, most of them have passed away now, actually. Well, there was about 3 or 4 of us, and I would say 2 of them have passed away. The other one, I don't even know. I want to know where the guy is. There were other people as well, but nobody helped out, really. No one financially, and barely anybody with support. I was on my own. It was terrible. But, I kept on. Anyway, my point being is that I did incredible things that year. Like really amazing, amazing things that changed people's lives. Right? And all I remember for myself was all my mistakes. All my mistakes. How short-sighted I was. Like we had this thing called Project Gaia. See how much time I got left. I'm actually just wearing a towel, and I do not want that to fall off on camera. I'm sure that won't be part of the community guidelines on YouTube, that's for sure. Yeah, I just got out the bath. I'm wearing a towel, and that's it. And a shirt, so just think of it as a sarong. So, what was I saying? Damn it. Oh yeah, so we had this thing called Project Gaia. I worked with a guy named Simon, he's passed on. And a guy named Roel as well. Roel Engels is also passed away. They passed away after this whole thing fell to pieces. So we had this idea of Project Gaia, and we brought volunteers from around the world. Well, that was our offer. It was basically a safe haven for the 2012 shift. Okay, come and be self-sustaining, self-empowerment, blah blah blah. It was a pipe dream, folks. It was unrealistic, and in respect to Simon and Roel, that's how they used to think, larger than life and unrealistically. Okay, they were men in their late 50s, I think, almost 60s possibly, but unrealistic ambitions and goals and whatever it was. Anyway, so like I even had volunteers coming through, and I had volunteers from Canada, from Europe, I can't remember where, I think a French lady, and then I had these scoundrels, I would say, these absolutely narcissistic, horrendous, excuse for human beings, I'm sorry to say, that came from within South Africa, and I never saw them coming, in a way. Like, I didn't know that people could be so brutal, could be so disruptive, could be so dangerous. And they moved onto the farm, and drug addicts, alcoholics, the worst, threatened me, it was terrible, it was horrendous. They were stealing from me left, right and center. It was horrible. It was just awful. So it was just anyway, so with all of this, I blame myself. Why didn't I know any better? Like the volunteers that came, this one woman who came to the farm, she was from Canada. It was like the biggest mistake. Like I didn't even interview her. I didn't even check her out. Like I just trusted the universe, that she was going to be perfect for the job. She was shocking. She was just the laziest. She was severely overweight. I mean, it was her parents that really made her come through, in a way. But she was just also an alcoholic, a shopaholic. She would just eat whatever there was around. I don't know, and I was stuck with her for a long time. I was stuck with some very terrible people, folks, for a long time, and there was nothing I could do. Couldn't get them off the farm. Felt so helpless at times. Some nights I couldn't even sleep because I don't know what they were getting up to, or if they were gunning for me, or it was hectic. Anyway, it was very whatever. But the whole point is that when I look back, and the moments that I pick out is mostly the mistakes I made. Like, why did I buy shares on the farm? Why was I so, naive in regards to people? I mean, I haven't got a clue back then. I didn't even know what a narcissist was. Why was I so naive for falling for the idea that 2012 was the end of the world? Why? And I just count all my mistakes. And I don't see any of the goodness. I don't see any of my growth, nothing. Anyways, folks, I can go on for a while about this, but you get the idea. And even for today, for myself, like when I meet other people and online and they're just doing amazing things, I think to myself, well, what have I done? Like, what have I accomplished? Or what do I have to offer? What skills or talents do I have? It's for a brief moment, but I realize that it's there, it's subconscious. It's like, so what do I have to offer? And I think to myself, like, I've only sort of started becoming conscious or aware, like in the last year or two, maybe 2016, which is not true. I've been on this path for a very, very long time. Hard to say when necessarily it started, more so in 2008, but even before then, I was even thinking about how sensitive I was and how caring for others I was. Right? But I'm saying I don't see my qualities, eh? They're not up front, that's what I'm saying. Like if I think about them and they come to me. But a lot of the time, I'm just walking around feeling like I haven't got much to show for myself. Which is ridiculous. And I really want to get to the bottom of this. I really want to figure out what this is. Sometimes there is mom and pop's voice still there. Eyes still there. Folded arms still there. You're just a bugger up. You just made a mistake. You don't know what you're doing, boy. Type of thing. And they're still there. So I'm really looking, and I think maybe it's just my age. I think okay, I'm 37, so maybe when I hit my 40s or something like that, then hopefully all this stuff will be gone, and I'll be able to sort of embrace what I'm about and what I've achieved and what I've, difference I've made. Let's just hold this towel nicely. Okay. So yeah. I don't know if you know it, folks. I think some of you might know what I'm talking about and can relate well. But I'm tired of not being able to own my qualities and the things that I've done and the person that I've been, and what I've been through. I really want to be able to have it on the surface, like wear it. Not you go, just have it there, have it in my heart all the time. And knowing, man, what I have done, how many people's lives I've changed. What a difference I've made in people's lives. I want to know it. I want to feel it every day. I don't want to feel this sort of like a nobody. Not in other people's eyes, but to myself. I don't want to feel like a nobody to myself. Right? I want to feel like I'm the most important person in the world. For me, Not to the world, but for me. That's where it counts the most, folks. Absolutely. So I don't know. With time, I suppose. And healing, most definitely. And of course, folks, if it wasn't for so many of you out there in your comments, I don't know. I wouldn't have the depth of self-appreciation in a way that I still have, and I still want so much more for myself. If it wasn't for so many of your friendships and so many of your comments, it's just absolutely beautiful. Which sometimes I can't believe what you're saying. I think you're lying. I think you want to borrow money from me or something or other. You're buttering me up. But I know that that's not the case. So I feel blessed, and I hope you feel blessed by my words too. Alright, we'll chat soon. Take care.